Hey, welcome back to the channel. Quick video today. I did a mock meet. Why did I do a mock meet? Well, I just finished my 13-week powerlifting program. I did the advanced powerlifting program from Barbell Medicine. I'm going to do a review on that coming up, but it peaks you, the program, to a meet. And I actually do have a meet coming up in 5 weeks. But I wanted to get one in the books. I wanted to really finish my peaking to see what I could do, to see if I've improved. And so I went ahead and did a mock meet. Something I did for this mock meet is I really wanted to focus on preparing like it was a real meet. So I wore my singlet for squats. I actually had a side camera so I could look at depth. And I tried to time it just like it was a real meet with warm-ups and everything else. And so let's see how I did. Here's some footage from my mock meet. Okay, so that was my mock meet. For me, I was okay. I was pretty happy. So with squat, I hit 441. If you look at the depth on my squats, so I made sure to have a depth photo for each of my squats. I try to film from the side because I really want to make sure I hit depth. I don't want to jinx it, but I have not missed depth on any of my other 3 meets. Maybe it's even 4 meets, but I haven't been red lighted on depth. Knock on wood. I really work on depth. 441 would be a meet PR by quite a bit. I think I hit something like 408. My last meet, my squats really come up quite a bit. I feel like I hit depth on all 3 of those. Comments below if you don't feel like I did. Again, your hip has to be below, your hip crease has to be below your knee. And I do the little line. I think I hit those. So I was pretty happy there. Bench press. I've always been better at bench than other lifts. Partly because I've benched on and off my whole life. I've hit 325.2. My last meet, today I hit 341. Didn't have a lot to spare. I had to do the commands in my head. I do think the bar became static. And I let it become static on my chest. I was happy with that. Bench is slower to move because I was more advanced in it. I think more than anything, practicing for a competition bench is so much different than doing touch and go. I've hit 365 touch and go, and having the bar become static off the rack and then static on your chest and then back up and then static again is very different. 341 though, I was pretty happy with. So now on to deadlifts. Deadlifts I struggle with. I would say I've always struggled with deadlift, but I haven't done deadlift very long. In fact, until late 2020, I had never even tried a deadlift. I'm self-taught in deadlift. I lift at home. I lift alone. So I've used a lot of YouTube. I've watched a lot of footage from like Alan Thrall and some other folks. And I've done conventional and I've done sumo. I ultimately do sumo because when I do conventional, anything over 350 hurts my lower back. Probably form. I need to continue to work, but for whatever reason, sumo doesn't hurt my back. And, I'm no spring chicken. I'm 45. I got into the powerlifting game late. So I can't really afford an injury in terms of, it takes a lot longer to come back. So I do sumo. My form's improved a lot on sumo, but I just don't know if it's leverage or whatever. I see people that deadlift 500 like it's nothing, and I just struggle. Today I hit 403 or somewhere in there. I hit 408 my last meet, so that was a little disappointing. I hit 415 in training, in this training cycle. I think some of why I didn't do as well at deadlift is I was just worn out today. The whole mock meet took about 3 hours, so I was kind of just moving through, and I didn't eat during. I don't know. I don't want to make excuses. I'm not a very good deadlifter. That's why. But overall, I was happy for me. And that's the cool thing about powerlifting. Don't worry about what other people are doing. When I first started this powerlifting journey, I would not have ever thought I would have the courage, I guess it's courage, to share my scores online, with the world. But who cares? My first meet was March 20th, 2021. That was my first ever powerlifting meet. I had trained for it for about 4 months. So I just barely learned how to do something like sumo deadlift. I finished with a total of 1,047. My last meet, I don't know, it was 7-8 months ago. I finished 1,135. Today I finished 1,184.5. So, my numbers keep going up. To me, that's a good thing. I do it as a hobby. I'm never going to make money at this. Only the top couple people are going to make money at this anyway. And starting it in my 40s. It's something I do for fun. If you haven't done a meet and you're thinking about it, man, do it. People are so friendly in these things. But it's a great hobby. Again, 1,184.5. I was happy with it. If you have any tips for me to get my deadlift up or a program to follow for my deadlift, I would love to hear them, because that's by far my weakest lift, which is my weak link to my total score. But we're still going. I'm going to be competing in May, Battle of Olympus in Merced, California. We'll see if I can beat these numbers. I have about 4 weeks to really get stronger. Not a lot of time. We'll see what happens. Until next time, adios.